welfare is a big economic issue right now. There is $7.3 trillion spent on welfare from the years of 2009 to 2013. About 20% of the people on welfare only stay on it for about 6 months, and many people feel that it's really unconstitutional. Drug testing can be very costly. It costs about $35 per person to give a drug test. According to the Tampa Bay Times, 4,026 people were drug tested, and only 108 of them actually failed the drug test. 80 of those people were marijuana. $118,180 was refunded back to those people who were on the drug test. The state of Florida lost about $45,000 from drug testing people. More money is being spent on drug testing than the state's actually making. Many states feel that it's a waste of their time. Florida is one of the big states that's actually doing drug testing, but they're more on the fence. They keep trying it and changing their minds, that sort of thing. Many of the arguments with drug testing on welfare say that they feel that older people are not capable of traveling to cities, to these drug testing facilities. They don't want them out on the roads. You're going to have older people that can't really see, out driving, trying to get on public transportation, all kinds of issues. But you have to pass a drug test in order to work at many of the places now. Plus, these jobs give periodic drug tests. Even fast food workers have to take drug tests, even though they seem like they hire just about anybody. Many states, including Arizona, Florida, Georgia, Kansas, Missouri, North Carolina, Oklahoma, Tennessee, and Utah, all have passed laws where they require drug testing. When you take a job, you don't get reimbursed for the drug test. It just comes out of your first paycheck. When you're on welfare, you actually get reimbursed for your drug test. That's where the state's losing all their money. An average of $28,800 to $43,200 will be given back to people if, say, 1,000 out of 1,500 people fail their drug test. The state will be making $30,000 to $40,000 on it. But it all relies on people that are going to fail their drug test. This welfare, most people consider it free money, but it's actual taxpayers' money. More people get on welfare, more taxes have to be paid. Drug test more people on welfare, more taxes are going to have to be paid in order to pay for all these drug tests. So it's kind of a lose-lose situation. The states could save around $32,000 to $48,000 if multiple people fail their drug test. It's kind of a win-lose situation. It just depends on the people. But what would you do if you had the option to choose? What do you feel your opinion is?
Who are you asking?
Everybody. Just somebody give.
Start with him.
What's your?
Well, I think that just the thought that people have to take a drug test before they can apply and receive welfare discourages drug addicts from applying for welfare. Therefore, the savings is quite a bit greater than the savings that comes from just the people that fail the drug test.
Yeah, I do agree that people are going to start not doing it, but it really just depends on the person, I guess. But it seems like it just depends on the state and the people, but.
Do you ever think like maybe when they apply, potentially having them do a drug test then, because you said that they were spending a lot of money on transportation, they had a concern that the elderly couldn't make the commute, so maybe they could only, like when they initially apply, make them drug test then at the facility.
Yeah.
Then maybe again every 4 years have a renewal process to where they could come back. I mean, something like that could maybe work, save a little money on the transportation.
Yeah, another thing that I found is that whenever they actually lose their welfare, they only lose it for 6 months, too. So I thought that.
And then they can reapply.
Then they have to reapply. But.
I feel that it should, on the cities and states that don't have
the law to where they drug test welfare recipients or whatever, recipients, right? I feel that they should put it to a vote, and because they feel that they're losing money, they should make the top 10% pay more tax based off the drug test. That way it's a double-edged sword and everybody loses but welfare.
They could also, though, get, I think, to save money, because, like, to buy a drug test at the store, it costs, like, what, $12?
Yeah.
They could have, like, medical personnel donate their time towards it, and they could save money that way. Because it only costs $10 or $12. If a person donates 3 hours once every 6 months, that would cover it.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
It isn't hard to fake an illness.
Well, basically, as you can see, drug testing costs a lot. States can lose money, gain money. It just depends on, really just depends on the people that live in your state. I don't really know if it's ever going to pass.
It's legal in Colorado, right? Colorado is one of the states.
No. North Carolina, Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Utah, Florida, Georgia, and Arizona.
Oh, well, if one of the states that did that has legalized marijuana, that'd probably be the most effective state.
Yeah, I think they could probably rule out the marijuana users, but then they still got to drug test them to find out if they're using marijuana. Like with the Florida situation, where 108 people were tested out of like 4,200, but 80 of those users were marijuana.
Which is the hardest drug to get out of your system.
Yeah. And they also had like whenever Florida first started doing it, it was like a trial. Like they had a certain number of people they required to drug test them, but then they had like where you could actually just sign up for it to be part of their statistics, and like 30 people canceled on them. So you gotta wonder, were those people not using, or did they just not want to bother?
Well, that's
with it
exactly
anymore?
what he just said in the beginning.
Exactly. But I mean, you have to take a drug test to take a job, but you don't have to do it for that. But you're still getting money. Your company's paying for your bills. Taxpayers are paying for your money. So I really could go
I
either
think
way.
if workman's comp did a lot more than they do,
And welfare would go down.
like
So would the
insurance
money people
companies.
if they'll drug test or no? Like for the welfare?
I think they're kind of counting on people to fail them, or else they wouldn't be giving them in the first place.
Gotcha.
Well, then why if you walk into a store you can buy drug tests but they cost? Like why wouldn't they just be free?
Because you
wouldn't
have to
fail
have a
them.
medical person. Hey, you have to have a medical person look at the results and have to have a certified person to verify the results.
So if I walked into a store and I bought a drug test and I passed it, would they want it to be good or bad?
You'd want it to be good. of
Well, I
course.
know I would want it to be good. But with the government.
Huh?
Or you want welfare?
government.
That's the question.
But
No.
that's not relevant to welfare and with the government.
I don't feel they need to push their issues.
I think though that even like you
Screw
said,
government.
at least it discourages them. Even if they're maybe losing money on the drug testing process, how much money are you saving on the people that are using it for the wrong reasons or selling it? People sell food stamps and benefits like that. So at least it's
Exactly.
deterring the people that are using it improperly from using it. So in a sense, you're kind of making money off that.
I think people should try and get the government for every dollar they can.
Surprisingly, even in those states that required drug testing, they still didn't have like a lower number of people applying for welfare. The numbers were still the same. People were still applying, even though they knew they were going to get drug tested. But I mean, states have the option either way. They could lose money, they could gain money. It just really depends on the person. But I think if they were to do it for a couple years, and then stop doing it for a while and then do it again, they could probably get more out of it. At least do it for a few years so that people will start getting discouraged, like you said, and do it that way.
people who did fail the drug test, do they still get reimbursed for it or
No,
no?
they don't get reimbursed. They lose their benefits for 6 months and then they have to reapply again. But I mean, it's a really big controversial topic, and who knows really.